Vickie Emanuele is a energy healer, intuitive medium. She has a website, a newsletter, a blog, a radio show, a shop online. She does it all. And the shop online has lots of oils and fun things and jewelry, and the book, Manifest Anything You Want in 30 Days. At what point did you know that you had these gifts?
So I was 5 and I was raised in Ohio, and not a, super Baptist family, super religious family. And I started seeing as young as I can remember. So I started really seeing spirits. I would see auras. I'm also a pet healer, pet energy reader too. And we had tons of animals, and I would just start feeling things in my body and seeing stuff and connecting. And I would see, we actually lived on like an Indian burial ground, and I would see Indians in spirit. And I would just see, and it was pretty funny because this old couple lived in my closet. Like, I'm at 5 years old. So I think this old people live in my closet.
Because that's what you see.
Yeah, because I wasn't scared of them. I just was like, yeah, there's old people in my closet. And it was my grandmother and my grandfather, because they died way before I was even born. So it was just this continuing thing where I thought I was normal. I thought everybody could see spirits. I thought everybody could see auras. I thought everybody could feel things. I would feel things in my body even, growing up like this. And I had premonitions, and I had a premonition of my father dying too when I was 18, and he died when I was 18. And so I just had all of these, gifts and stuff, but I just thought it was kind of normal until my mom told me it wasn't.
And at what point, like at 5, did you say to your parents, like, there are people who live in my closet? Like, were you telling them what you saw?
I did. I started, and, my family was very diehard religious, and, being a medium doesn't necessarily go with being a Baptist.
Right.
And so I grew up in that, actually fearing it, because my mom, told me that wasn't good and it was from Satan. And, you start like, oh my God, what?
Right. You want to shut that out.
Yeah. And it's just like me reading a book. All I need is a name or see a picture or even just see somebody, and I can feel, see, sense everything. It's just like so easy for me to tap into their energy and see their health or anything in their life. And so it was like, it was like natural for me. So it was kind of hard growing up like that.
Right. I'm sure. And did you have siblings?
I do. But my siblings were 16 and 17 years older than me. So I was like an accident. Yeah. But yeah, the best accident. But yeah.
But so like when you would tell them, were they just like, oh yeah, sure, whatever?
Yeah, some people, but some people did, definitely. I mean, growing up as gifted as I was not a great thing at all. And that's one of the things right now I'm very passionate about, because teaching the parents that the kids now being born are super intuitives, like way telepathic, super intuitive. And to listen to them and honor that gift and actually encourage it, because it's only going to help them in all ways. So yeah, growing up, it wasn't a very nice thing until I actually was like a closet psychic for many years. I started the first dog bakery in Florida called Dudley's Dog Bakery. And pets would come in and I would just know what was wrong with them. And, so I would do all this stuff, but I was the closet psychic, and finally I came out, I want to say when I was like 30, I finally came out because I just couldn't resist it anymore. It's pretty interesting, the story on how I would travel or I'd get these messages for random strangers, and I would just be like fighting with spirit. I'm like, I am not telling that person that. Like, there's no way I'm telling that person that. And if I didn't tell them, I would literally get shoved right into them. Like I would fall like onto them.
No, really?
Yeah, it was horrible, because I was like, all right, I'll tell them, And so I'd be at like a coffee shop, or I'd be at an airport, or I'd be with a taxi driver. I'll never forget, I was actually in this taxi driver, and I was in Boston, and I was probably around the age of 30. And I looked there, and on his thing, I see his son, and I can, just by picture, I look in there, and I hear to tell him his son's going to be okay, because his son was in the military, and he was off seas. I forget which war this was, and he was over there serving. And I remember like looking at it going, and I'm like, I'm not going to tell this stranger that like his son's going to be okay. I mean, that's a lot of responsibility, right? And, so I get out of and I'm talking to this guy the whole way, like just trying to keep it in, right? And so I get out of the car and I look at him and I'm like, nope, not saying a word. No way. And next thing I just get shoved right into him and like seriously fell in his lap. And I was like, I'm to tell you that your son's going to be okay. He's going to be back in a year, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, thank you. Thank you. Oh my God. Thank you. You know? So I started like getting these messages, and then that's when everything started really being like, wow, I'm really helping people. You know, I'm not, there was another lady that walked into my dog bakery, and I was just to tell her she was going to live a long time, like something that simple. And I'm like, yeah, no. And then I got shoved into her, and she was like, oh my God, thank you so much. Cause she was going to the doctor that day because she had cancer to see if she was in remission. And she was just like, thank you, you know, and she came back later on and she's like, you're right, you know? And so it was this where it's kind of continued. And then I was like, all right, I just got to do what I'm supposed to be here doing, you know? So my gifts just kind of flourished after that.
That's amazing. Well, and also you got early feedback that you were really helping people, right? And that they were taking you in really positively, which is amazing.
Oh,
do
yeah.
you ever find that you'll meet someone, or, you know, they'll call you to have a session and you can't feel what, you know, like the answers they're wanting?
No, I have the opposite. It's hard for me to turn it off. I've been doing this 20 years. I work with like 100 people a month. So I've worked with thousands of people and pets for over 20 years. No, I can always, like, if anything, like just last night I have a expand your intuition course, and I'm here to teach people, right? Well, all of a sudden all their loved ones start coming in, and I at times have to actually turn it off. I've never had one yet. I'm not going to say never, but I've never had one yet that I haven't been able to tune into.
And you're married, you have a family, right?
I'm not married.
Oh, you're not married.
I have 5 kids. I have
Oh,
5 kids. But yeah,
okay.
I'm single.
Okay.
I'm single.
Okay. Okay.
I have a partner. I just recently have a partner, but I'm not married now.
Okay. So you have 5 kids. Now, do things constantly come in for you about your kids, and do you tell them or do you hold it?
Oh, no, I am no, they know. They cannot lie to me. They cannot. I mean, they'll even ask me. My older sons are in Florida. They're in their 20s now. But I remember when they were in high school, they'd be like, what do you think of this girl? Because it's all I need to do is have a name to tap in. And I'm like, okay, I can tell you, like, does this girl like me? You know, so they would ask me questions. One of them, I remember, was in like 6th grade, and they had a pet rat. And he called me from school. He told his teacher, well, my mom's a psychic. She'll find the rat, because I guess the rat got out. Oh and so he called for me from school, and he's like, well, where's the rat, Mom? And I'm like, oh my God, did you tell your teacher I was psychic? And he did. I found the rat. I'm really good at finding things too. So I did find it. Yeah, I work with cops. I'm finding missing people and stuff. So I'm really good at like finding the energy of, like, you know, where things are and stuff.
That's incredible. Okay, so your 5 kids, all of them just like totally like believe this, trust you, and will call on you for whatever they're wondering?
Yeah, well, I have 4 boys and 1 girl. So my boys are very, very, have a great head on their shoulders. You know, they're from 27 down to 12. So yeah, my younger ones for sure. That live with me. So I only have 12 and 14-year-old that live with me. Yeah, they'll listen, you know, but they're also very, one's a financial advisor. Like they're very, but they will call me every once in a while and ask me questions. But, you know, I'm a friends because they think I'm going to read them and stuff. But you know, I'm here. I'm earthy. I'm not woo-woo all the time.
Right, right. Wow, that must be very interesting for your children. I'm like so fascinated. Incredible.
Their friends. I think their friends like it more than them though, because they're so used to it. So their friends will come over here and they'll be like, "Oh my God, that's so cool! Like, let's do some cards. Let's do this." I'm an intuitive. I don't need the cards, but they're friends actually. I think because my kids are just so used to it.
Right. I bet their friends must love coming over. I needed a friend with a mom like you. Your book says that you can manifest anything you want in 30 days. I think for the first time ever, many people in the world might be wanting to manifest the same thing, which is an end to all of this and the ability to go out again and all of that. What do you think?
So when it comes to manifesting, we are always manifest. We are creators of our own reality. And so knowing though you can only manifest for yourself, you can't manifest for somebody else. But when you bring everybody's energy in alignment to the same thing, then you bring it to you so much faster. With what's going on right now, I know the biggest thing that is awesome right now is people are reflecting and they're really getting into their heart center and they're saying, you know, what do I really want to create now? And they're not just out there pretty much existing, because the old world was getting out there, doing a job they don't really love, or being in a relationship they don't really love, just to get the, you know, because it was a belief system of this is what you do. So now we're all turning into, we're really going to look at our heart center. And this is the time of the new world. I actually predicted all this. I have a radio show. So Dragon Years would be great to listen to for people, because it's a podcast, because everything's going to be changing forever. The paradigms of everything, government, money, school systems, forever. We're in this new time called the Dragon Years, and it's for 7 years. And so actually manifesting is going to be like this. It's even going to be faster. So the energy of what you put out there, your thoughts, your words, you're going to create and bring it right back to you instantly. And I'm sure a lot of people have already been noticing that. And it could be something like as simple as just the other day, I was like, I want some oranges. And I wasn't really thinking, like, I didn't want to go to the grocery store, right?
Right.
And I was at my friend's house. I went to go see my friend. I'm getting bees. And my friend's like, oh, I got some orange trees. You want some oranges? And I was like, oh my God, I was just thinking that. That's all I was doing, is thinking that. So that's a form of manifesting. It could be something that's small. It can also be something huge, where the money, look at the checks right now that we're getting. That is a form of bringing and attracting it to you. So we are going to be manifesting really fast, but it's just going to be a different way of living.
So you think no matter who you are, what your sign is, what your whoever you are, because of the Dragon Years, you will be able to manifest what you want, or what
it's going to be instantly. But the difference is with the time now in Dragon Years is there's no middle ground. You're either in power or you're in fear, one of the two. And so you can either manifest more fear in your life, more illness in your life, more sadness in your life, or you can manifest, if you're on the other end and you're a very positive thinker and your positive words, you're going to have the most amazing year. Like, this is a really good time, especially for women too, because we're moving into goddess years. So women are moving into power. And so this is going to be an amazing time for women, because we're really, a lot of women probably have already been thinking too, they want something for themselves. They want a new job or a career. And so, yes, this is the year to do that. And it will manifest, and it'll manifest instantly. But it's all these, this is where I have a program, because the universe is in spirit, whatever you believe in, is always wanting to give you everything. It's just, we have beliefs, we have things that believe that we have to, you know, work really hard to get that check on the end. And so you're manifesting, you're always manifesting. It's how I learned with myself is, I had a dog bakery, my first dog bakery. I started the first dog bakery. And when I first started my business, I actually left a really high paying. I worked for a builder. I was making over 6 figures, working like 3 days a week. And I remember going to him and I'm like, I'm going to open a dog bakery. And he's like, what? And he like made fun of me and like was like, you know, whatever. And I was like, screw you, I'm going to go do it anyways. So I started this dog bakery. And I remember all of these beliefs, and all of my friends that own businesses, they started telling me like, you're going to have really hard time for the first 5 years. You're going to have horrible employees. You're going to do this, because I didn't know what I was doing. It's a business, but I was listening to my intuition. And so I started this dog bakery. I actually franchised it out. It was in Ripley's Believe It or Not book. It was very, very famous. And, but through that, I learned so much on how I was manifesting because of what I was thinking and saying, because all of these beliefs going into the business were created from somebody else, and that they're feeding me. And this is where I started realizing that I started manifesting, living through that. So when I was saying I had horrible employees, I had horrible employees. And so then I started like realizing, okay, what am I saying? What's the energy surrounding this business? You know, because everything is energy. So I changed it. I changed the energy through my words, through my thoughts, and instantly in one day. The day I started with, the first day, I said, you know what? I'm just going to start saying I have awesome employees. I'm just going to start saying that. The next day, the employees that were not awesome, they quit, like totally like,
Really?
yeah, quit. And then this is the time too when I was married. I mean, I kept on rippling into everything, and I wanted to franchise it out. And I told my husband, I'm like, this is when I was married. I said, I'm going to franchise out my business. And he's like, what? How are you going to franchise this out? And I'm like, I don't know. I was so determined. I knew I was going to franchise it out. I put the energy out there. And the next day, the woman walked into my business, walked into my store, and she's like, I want you to open up a location in my city. This is when I was in Florida. And I said, no, but I'll franchise it to you. And she's like, okay, I'll franchise it for you. And this is how manifesting happened. That's where I started realizing, like, wow, all of our heart's desires, and everybody's had this, where your heart's desires is what really is attracting and bringing things to you. But it's also the energy always wrapped around you. And that's what I help with my readings is how are you blocking yourself? Because you're always creating everything in your life through your thoughts, your words, and your energy. Positive vibes always bring positive energy. Negative vibes isn't nice to be around.
Okay, so going back, you said that we are in the dragon years. We are either going by fear or power. So
Yeah.
for those of us who might be leading with fear, one, how do we know that? And two, how do we get away from that?
So first page of my book. So my book, Manifest Anything You Want in 30 Days. It's actually much more than just teaching you to manifest. It's going into reworking your energy and healing your energy. So the number one thing right now, oh my God, is turn off that news. The news is just putting in the energy in your house, nonstop negative energy, right?
Yep.
And people don't realize too, especially me being an energy healer, not only are you hearing this, listening to this, and it brings you into more and more fear, it's also doing energy imprints in your house. So that energy actually stays there. I'm sure all of you guys have had a time where like you've had an argument or, you know, have a lot of emotional stuff and you keep walking in your house and you're like, ooh, the energy just feels kind of like heavy in here. Right. That it's really happening because the energy imprints is there. So you've got to go in and cleanse. You got to sage. You got to cleanse your house, but you also can't feed it back with negative energy. So looking in your life, where is that negative energy in my life? You know, is it my friends? Or we keep repeating and saying and talking about how bad and this and this? Because all of that is feeding your energy field. So how you have to get out of fear is change your habits, change your energy around you into positive energy. And so that means stepping out of the negativity. So right now, you know, even social media right now, it's crazy. Like Facebook, you look on there, there's so much hate, there's so much policing, there's so many opinions, there's so many. And it's just so it's like stepping back, detaching from all of that, getting out in nature, doing what makes you happy, what feeds your heart, what feeds your soul. That's the way you have to get out of fear. But you have to cut out all the negative cords, the negative people, the negative talk, because that energy is contagious. And right now, there's a lot of contagious fear-based energy, tons right now. And it's at a conscious level. And so when you go into that, then you're only going to bring more into your own life. So you got to step out of fear because it's only going to bring you into this rabbit hole of more fear. And it's going to attract to you negativity. And who wants negative? You want a loving, awesome life, right?
Exactly. Exactly. So just think positive thoughts all the time and look for the joy in life.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. And you know, I mean, it's a habit, you know, so a lot of people that have never even been aware of their mind or been aware of, you know, wow, I didn't realize I was really putting this out there. Quieting your mind is the most powerful thing you will do. And it's a game changer. So meditation's a must daily. Also going outside in nature. I mean, nature is a natural healer. It's free. So the minute you go outside, everybody knows, like, when you go on that summer vacation, you're like, oh my God, I just feel so awesome. And I feel that's what you want to get.
Rejuvenated.
Totally rejuvenated.
So meditation. Okay, my question is, how long do you need to meditate? Because it's really hard for me. When you have ADD, it's nearly impossible.
So if you are like you, and anybody that ever tells me it's really hard for me to meditate, you have to meditate. You are the prime example of you need to meditate.
Right.
And if you're new to meditation, you can go on YouTube and Google guided meditations. You definitely need help. You need like guided, right? Or you need to join like a workshop, or you need to do something like that. Right. And you know, meditation comes a lot of different ways. It's whenever you shut off your mind. Like hiking to me is meditation. I go to the beach is meditation. Anytime when you shut off your mind, a lot of women clean. And but
it's really hard to shut my mind off. Like when you say shut your mind off, you mean like to stop thinking about all these things, right? What does that, but I don't get it. Like, do you just...
Monkey mind will only bring to you chaos. When you calm yourself in-wise, whatever energy you're putting out there, you're attracting and manifesting it into your life. So it takes a practice. It takes it's a habit, especially the more that you're like monkey mind. And, you know, a great supplement for everybody too, of course, me being a health intuitive and, you know, disclaimer here, have to ask the doctor, but is GABA. GABA is awesome for monkey mind. And we actually have GABA in our brain. It's our happy hormone, and it will help with the nervous.
Never heard of that.
Yeah, GABA.
GABA.
GABA. It's awesome. And
What
it will help with
is
the monkey
Is it a
mind.
vitamin or?
It's a vitamin. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I recommend the chewable. Everybody always asks me what ones. I recommend the chewable ones because you can gauge the different, it's 60 milligrams, and I take 2 a day. But it will help your nervous system. It will help your monkey mind. It will help everything. Women will love it. It helps your metabolism. It helps everything in your life.
Great to know. Wow. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that ever. Okay, so really quick, going back to meditation though. So like, would you say like start small and go up incrementally, like start with like 5-10 minutes, and how much is optimal?
I can't,
or does it depend on
you will be addicted. Yeah. So try to, you know, once you get into meditation, you're going to be very addicted because your life is going to change. And there's magical ones. You can go on YouTube, and if you're into animals, you know, a lot of kids, I tell you to get your kids started. You know, there'll be like dolphin meditations, or there'll be lion meditations, or there'll be magical forests, or whatever you're really drawn to. You can do a guided meditation. So I would love, there's even 10 minutes getting grounded and centered. Right. Yoga is a form of meditation too, you know, doing something that really grounds you in the center. Yeah. So 10-15 minutes at least, you know, but you can always work yourself up. If you're new to it, a great easy way is a sleep meditation, and you will sleep like a baby. So right before you go to sleep, just put it on there. And if you fall asleep, that's fine.
Oh, good to know. Okay. Yeah. That will be easy.
Yeah. And it helps with sleep. A lot of people don't. Last night it was so windy here. I had to put on a guided meditation here. So yeah, it helps with sleep.
Good to know. All right. Well, one more thing. I think you have a radio show that starts at 10:30 a.m. on Fridays, right?
I do. But
where can people find your radio show? Is it through your website, or how else?
Yeah. So VickieEmanuele.com is my website. But yeah, I'm on Blog Talk Radio. And I also have a YouTube channel, and I want to make sure everybody right now too, I'm doing a free healing sound meditation every Sunday at 4 p.m. I'm streaming it on YouTube, which will also quiet your mind. And I'm doing it on YouTube and also my Facebook fan page.
Amazing. Wow. So glad that we found each other and we've met, and I'm so excited to go through your book, and I love the color. It's my perfect shade of pink. Really good to have you with me this morning. I do have one more question, and that is, what are you doing personally during this time of quarantine that you have never done before, that you always wanted to try, that you just maybe have a little more time to do? Although in your situation, I feel like you have less time because more people are calling you.
I have, well, yeah, and I'm always writing books. I'm very busy. You know, I've been making, the beautiful time for me is being a single mom, I drive an hour and a half every day to school, and it's been so nice just to slow down,
yes.
Not having to drive.
Not be a cab driver for all the kids.
It's so nice. So I am one, you know, I teach what I preach. So we need self-love right now. This is a really important time to do that, and that will help with the fear. So I'm a big nature junkie. I've been going to the beach. You know, I live in California. I'm blessed. I manifested it here. So I manifested living in a beautiful spot. But yeah, so I'm just really, you know what's awesome? I'm doing whatever I want to do.
That's amazing.
I don't have to rush to school. You know, I've been working a lot, but I'm really good at going out and hiking and doing that too. And yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. I work like all the time.
You saw this coming though. So you're good.
Yeah.
The rest of us are freaking out.
Yeah, I saw this coming. Yeah, if you listen to my podcast, Dragon Years, you will, everything. I said the money, the schools will be changing, everything's going to be changing. So, and it will continue to, everybody's asking me like, when are we coming back out, you know? And I do predictions on my YouTube channel too, so you can always check those out. I do monthly predictions, been doing this for a long time. But yeah, I do feel that, you know, it's going to be mid-May, but it's going to be very interesting, and just telling everybody just to breathe and know it's going to be okay. It's definitely going to be change. And a lot of people freak out with change. So the more you can get grounded. Yeah.
I have one personal question, and I think a lot of people have the same question. Do you think schools will be open in the fall when they're supposed to? Like, you don't.
I know all these moms are like,
no, no, take that back. Can you manifest something else, like that they'll go back and everything will be good?
We are moving. That's where you got to listen to the dragon years. We are moving more online. We are moving to a whole new paradigm. So all school structures are going to be going to the wayside. The government's going to be changing. I even see, I just channeled this morning. We're going to have countries. States are going to start pulling out and being their own separate colonies. I mean, we're talking tremendous change, but knowing it's going to be good. All right. It's going to be good because we're going to come back to family. I do feel that some schools will my kids go to private school. I do feel that some schools will reopen, but there's going to be a lot more virtual, and I don't even see them opening until November, December. I also see some universities closing. And not only the dragon years is all just totally different anyways for 7 years. This isn't just now. This is the paradigm shifting forever. And so the school system will just be changing. It's going to be, I was seeing more like schools kind of popping up where some are online, and then you go you go to different things.
Yep.
Which it has to be. We've been teaching from the 1800s. I mean, I have 5 kids from 27 to 12. Right. And I'm just like, what are we still doing, you know?
So do you think public school is really where it's going to get hit and those will start going away?
Public school is, and it needs to be hit, you know, it just needs to change. I'm not saying, you know, especially I'm in California, and it just amazes me the public schools here. That's why I'm in private. But yeah, so I don't know why this just went dark here. Yeah, I do feel, you know, I want all the moms out there to breathe because they're like, no, we want to go to schools, you know?
Right.
But, yeah, I do feel that it's going to be more online. Also little schools popping up where, parents come together. I forget what they're called, but I do feel that too.
Yes, I'm forgetting now too, but yes. Yeah, it's a big thing. It's particularly big in the preschool years, right?
They're preschool. Yeah, it's going to be interesting, you know, because also sporting events. You know, my kids play sports, and right. I do feel kids will continue to play sports, but I'm seeing the sporting events, not like any big, huge thing, you know, event is not going to necessarily be. I mean, they're even talking about concerts 2 years out, but everything's going to change forever. This isn't just now, and it should be an interesting time. But just know that manifesting is going to happen like this, and especially if you're a woman, you're going to rock it. This is your year really to rock it, and
that is great. That is wonderful news. I'm so excited.
Yeah, totally.
That is wonderful. All right. Well, thank you so much. I think I'm going to want to have you on again.
Yeah.
Because I have 1,000 more questions.
Okay.
And to everyone who is watching, thanks so much for watching.
Thanks for having me.
Vickie and I. VickieEmanuele.com is where you'll find her. And I'm at Beyond the Book with Julie.